Thank you for joining us for this week's announcements at CSL Palm Desert. Join Reverend Ruth Ann Banner and Michael Kukuru this Wednesday in the Om Room from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. It's called Wednesday Wisdom Service. It's a service you will not want to miss. That's this Wednesday in the Om Room from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. It's just a love offering. If you have a talent for singing and would like to bring joy to others, please join us for an informational meeting. That's this Wednesday, July 25th or August 29th from 1:30 to 3 p.m. The choir sings bedside for those in hospice or confined by illness or accident. This is a Desert Sunset Threshold Choir. Please join us Wednesday, July 25th or August 29th from 1:30 to 3 p.m. Get your midday dose of spirituality. Change your life and change the world. We call it Spirituality Shaken, Not Stirred. That's every day, Monday through Friday at 1 o'clock on Facebook. You can join us on the Facebook page for Center for Spiritual Living. You can participate, you can listen. That's every Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Are you searching for positive talk radio here in the Coachella Valley? Well, now here's your opportunity. Our own Laura Meeks has a show called The Laura Meeks Show. It's weekdays from 4 to 5 p.m. It's on iHub Radio. Just go to iHubRadio.com and then click listen to catch her show weekdays from 4 to 5 p.m. For more information on all the things that are happening at CSL Palm Desert, please refer to this week's bulletin.
All right, everybody, if we could ask you to get on your feet, we're going to start with our morning song, by the way, which is written by Gary Floyd. Here we go. 1, 2.
Good morning, everybody. Let's go. Come on. All right. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one. One big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. Say hello to somebody around you. Here we go. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one. One big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. All right. So good morning, everyone. Oh, come on. Good morning, everyone. There. Thank you. Thank you. It's going to be a great day today. We have one of my favorite musicians that we have in the whole metaphysical movement is Gary Floyd, and he is here joining us. Come on, Gary. Come on up. Yes, let's hear it for Gary. Bless his heart, he was just up at teen camp doing music for the week at teen camp. How was that?
Do I look worn out? It was good.
Yeah?
It was really great.
How many kids were there?
Probably 350.
Wow,
Yeah.
great.
It was packed. It was
Good.
this week, yeah.
Well, I'm glad you were there for them. Let's hear it for Gary Floyd, everybody.
Brings me back to Palm Desert. Sunshine, your eyes, dewdrops, and dragonfly.
I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm alive.
It's easy, sing it with us.
I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm alive.
So grateful jasmine bloom, honeysuckle in your room. Oh yeah.
I'm so grateful I'm alive. 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 I'm so grateful I'm alive.
Break it down.
I'm so grateful I'm alive. 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 I'm so grateful I'm alive.
So grateful.
I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm alive.
So
Grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm alive.
Well, Gary Lynn Floyd, we're so grateful you're alive. We're so great that he survived a week at teen camp. So if he looks a little tired, you understand. Anyway, it's great to have you here. And thank you guys. You're awesome as always. So good morning. I'm Reverend Laura, and we're going to start off with our mission statement. So please let's say that together. We are a dynamic, open, and positive faith community that accepts all religions. Our mission is to awaken you to your divine nature, empowering you to create the life of your dreams. We are changing lives one heart at a time. All right, so this is my time. This is my faith news. So giving you kind of a little preview of what Dr. Joe is going to be talking about today and giving you something to think about during this week. So this is, no, that I did not want that one. That's the one I wanted. Thank you. All right, so this is a quote from Viktor Frankl, and he said, "What gives light must endure burning." And being with the fire's heat doesn't just mean sitting with the difficult stuff in meditation, but also going into it, trekking to its core, facing and entering and getting intimate with whatever is there, however scary or traumatic or sad or raw. So Dr. Joe's going to be talking a little bit today about spiritual bypass. And so what this means is when we're going through something, we don't, we have that phrase where we say, it's all good because it's all God. Well, that's true, but we don't just ignore it. We need to do the work. We need to sit with it. We need to change if we want to change the circumstance. And we do that with spirit. So listen to Dr. Joe's lesson today and look at your life. And if you are going through something, we don't want to just stick our head in the sand. We need to look at it, but we need to do our spiritual work as we do that. And knowing that, yes, it's here in my life for a reason, and I'm going to grow through this. So at this time, Dr. Joe is going to come up and take us into our meditation.
So let's take a deep breath in, everybody, and exhale out. One more deep breath in. I think it was Buddha who was asked, what did you get out of the meditation? Did you get more love or peace or joy? And he said, it's not necessarily what you get, it's what you get rid of in meditation. You surrender the stress, the angst, the fear, the anger, the resentment. And that's what I want you to do right here, right now, in this space, is just allow yourself to be released from all the things that have been holding you back, that you've been fearful of. Any anger or resentment or hostility or fear or scarcity or lack or limitation or disease. You just get fully present in this moment and understand that. Breathe in, take another breath in, and exhale out. Yeah, there you go. And just the process of breathing, concentrating on your breath, not on what's going on in your life, but just breathing. We'll figure the rest out during the rest of the service, but right now I just want you to get in that headspace. All to Spirit I surrender. All to Thee I freely give. I will always love and trust You, and in Your presence daily live. All to Spirit I surrender. All that's good is wholly mine. In Your presence, in this oneness, through You I am power divine, and I surrender all. I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Spirit, I surrender all.
And in this beautiful moment, as we surrender, we feel that presence, a presence that emanates from everything and everyone, a presence of perfect goodness. God, as that goodness, having created all creation in that perfection. For we know that as God is perfect, perfect person, perfect being. And so feeling that presence welling up within every tissue, every cell, every organ, every system, every process, we have no doubt, we recognize that God's nature is our nature, and God's goodness is our good. And we are confident that that good is always available to us. For as God's nature, the goodness to experience and have, it is always giving more of itself. And so in that generosity, we know that there is infinite and unlimited good. And so we make our claim. We go within. We speak our word with assurance and confidence and ask for what we want, knowing that it is already there. For we know that there is a law that continues to bring forth what we desire and want. For it is the activity of God. And we know that it is God's will and not ours, that it comes to us at the right and perfect time and in the right and perfect way. And so we claim that good. We claim a good that is life-supporting, a good that takes away from no one, a good that is good for all. And claiming that good now, I know for each one of us, perfect health and well-being. For there is a natural healing process that continues to restore us to balance within. I claim loving relationships,
with everyone and everything that comes into our circle this day and the days to follow. Feeling that oneness and connection, recognizing that it is all a unique expression of God. And I claim for us abundance of goodness and prosperity. And feeling the comfort of our life, we are filled with joy and happiness. We are at peace and harmony with the world around us. And feeling that response and knowing that it is already here, I release the words of this prayer into that law and know it is coming forth now. There is no doubt in my mind, for it always will, and it always does, because that's the way God works. And so claim it now for yourself as we say together, and so it is. Amen.
And I surrender all. I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Spirit. I surrender all. And I surrender all. I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Spirit. I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Spirit. I surrender all. Let's take a deep breath in. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me, sending out joy. I send my joy over the mountains. I send my joy over the sea. I send my joy into the heavens, and it returns to me. Let's send out peace. I send my peace over the mountains. I send my peace over the sea. I send my peace into the heavens, and it returns to me. Sending out love. Sing it out, please. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me, and it returns to me. And it returns to me. Last time. And it returns to me.
One heart, one life. We are one family, one earth. One heart, one life. We are one family, one earth. And together we can make a difference in our world. Every creed and color, every boy and girl, all of creation, no separation. We are one, one heart. One heart, one life. We are one family, one earth. One heart, one life. We are one family, one earth. Together we can make a difference in our world. Every creed and color, every boy and girl, all of creation, no separation, no separation. We are one, one heart. Even though it seems we're so far apart, many times I feel it all alone. The truth of who we are has been here from the start. We are one heart, one are one family, one earth. Together we can make a difference in our world. Every creed and color, every boy and girl, all of creation, no separation, we are one heart,
One life, one world, one love, one heart, one life,
one to celebrate, one heart, one life,
all creation celebrate. One heart, one love, all creation celebrate. One life, all creation celebrate. One heart, one life, all creation celebrate. One heart, all of creation,
all creation.
no separation. We are one, one heart, one heart. Gary Floyd. I love you, man. I love you. And let's hear it for these backup singers in the band this week. They did another excellent job. And Gary has CDs available, right? All kinds of stuff, I bet. I bet you have a whole traveling show out there. So stop and see Gary on your way out. All right, so the title of my talk today is Don't Fool Yourself. Don't fool yourself. Many times in life, we, like Laura was saying, we talk about in metaphysics, when you see something, many people go, oh, see something wrong in your life, you go, nope, everything is perfect, everything is in divine order, and you're feeling chaotic. You're feeling everything but those things that you think you're supposed to say. Anybody? 4 of you. Good. All right. Well, there's going to be more of you by the end of the service, I promise you. In the science of mind, we do not say everything is all right when it's all wrong. We don't say that. We don't believe that. Here's what we believe. We do not say peace when there is no peace, but rather we try to discover what is wrong and why we do not have peace. All right? We do not say that people are not poor, sick, or unhappy. We ask why these things should be if the original cause of all things is harmonious, perfect, radiant, and happy. So instead of looking at the condition, we have to look at what the healed condition looks like. And many times in our world, we get fixated on the things that are wrong instead of fixating on the things that are right. In fact, we talk to people about what's wrong in our life, and they all pile on and go, yes, oh, I agree, yes, it's horrible for you, yes. And then they try to fix it, but they're not fixing the cause, they're only fixing the external look of something, the external, superficial result of what has already brought it into being. Does that make sense? Hang with me. We are not limited by actual boundaries, but by false ideas about life and by a failure to recognize that we are dealing with the infinite. So we are not limited by the actual facts of our life. We are actually bound by a failure to recognize that we're the sons and daughters of God. It's our failure in that moment. It's our mental failure. We forget to remember who we are. Does that make sense? And as soon as I remember who I am, for some reason I feel more empowered. When somebody just brings to my attention like, look, Joe, you know what? And you don't have to sit there and say, oh my God, your Christ idea is manifested in a human being. You just have to remind me every once in a while, hey, look, you know what? You're strong. You've made it through a lot of things. The universe you and the universe have co-created a lot of things in your world. A lot of healings, a lot of transformations, a lot of evolving. So why isn't it going to work now? So just get off the fact that things, the way they look bleak or look upsetting. Hey, you're going to walk through this. You will walk through this. You are walking through it. Does that make sense? So we're not limited by the boundaries. We're only limited by our mind. Limitation is a human experience, but it is not the fault of God, it is the fault of our perception. And to prove that it is so, let anyone break the bonds of this false sense of life, and they will begin to express less and less limitation. Limitation is not the human experience of God. It's our perception. My perception is everything. And what I realize is when I'm listening to things going on in my world, positive or negative, it's my immediate response that I feel that it instantly labels and colors a situation for me. And then as soon as I label it or color it a certain way, then it stays that way. It's very hard for people to shift me off what I already think is true. Does anyone suffer from that? Yeah, and then someone tries to convince you, and you're like, no. My initial response on this, and you don't even open up your mind to that there may be something else trying to make its way through your life. It may not be what you colored it to be. It may be that this is I was thinking, I'm so glad I got turned down by all the jobs I got turned down by. Because if I would have taken when I was leaving my first job, remember I talked about being a flight attendant and I talked about having enough of it. I'm like, I'm out. I can't stand doing this anymore. I had applied for some jobs. One of them was in Seattle. Now, if I would have gotten that job in Seattle and not down in Los Angeles where I went to the Redondo Beach Church, the chances of me being here today would very slim, I think. I think the whole pathway would have been different. We've all chosen pathways, but I kind of look back and I go, thank God I didn't get that job in Poughkeepsie. Right? I mean, I'm thinking I can revolutionize Poughkeepsie. No. Thank God I didn't do it. Thank God I got turned down for the things I got turned down for, because had I not done that, I don't know where I would have been. So when you look at your life, now maybe you're in the middle of a turn down and you're brushing off the hurt of being turned down. But I would say this, just kind of distance yourself from that for just a moment and ask yourself, could there be another reason why? Again, the very beginning slide was don't look at the condition, look at what's happening in the long run. And what's going to happen in the long run is if you have a vision for something and something happens and it doesn't appear to align with the vision, don't label it as dismantling your vision, label it as a stepping part of the vision. It's a creation process. Right? It reminds me, I was in the recording studio when I did my CD a couple years ago. And my pitch was off, right? They recorded it, but my pitch was off on certain parts. And so I thought, oh, no, we're going to have to start all over again. And I didn't want to do that because it was 97 degrees. And you have to turn off the air conditioner when you record because of the sound. So it was 97 degrees. That was hot and humid. I'm thinking, no, I don't want to do this all over again. And you know what this guy did? He instantly took this little piece of equipment and he went, and fixed my pitch right there. On the record, I didn't have to do a thing. I'm like, oh. So when I thought something was wrong, I thought I'm going to have to do it all over again. Nope. There was an instant fix there. I just didn't know it was there. There we go. Thank you. Waking up. That's good. That's the first one today. 9:34. You're on your roll. All right. Sometimes when it looks like things may require some lengthy, arduous, difficult, sweaty, hot process, maybe there's an interesting thing that's about to happen if you just would open up your mind to the idea that there's something else beyond what I know is available to me. See, when I was recording, the only thing I knew was that I was the only thing available that had to fix that. What I didn't know is that there was something else that could help fix it. Because I kept thinking I had to do it. I had to take the action. There was a lot of relief when I found out, hey, this can fix that. Now, that's just an example of how many times in our life we look at what we have to do and we don't open ourselves to the possibility that there's something outside of ourselves that's showing us the way through a different way. Does that make sense? You know, we sing, show me the way, your love will light the way, your truth will light the way, your peace will light the way. Well, if you stumble onto something that you don't want, does that mean you're not going on the way? No, it just means it's part of the way. The little hiccups in life. Now, I'm one to always say, you know, and look, anybody who knows me really well, knows that when life gives me a speed bump, I usually make it out much bigger than what it really is. Oh my God! You know, I make drama queen, right? Just a little bit. I add just a little bit of drama to things. And ultimately, when I do that, people have learned pretty well to ignore me. And they know, they're like, just let them go. Give it about 35 seconds. This will pass too. And they can almost set their clock to like 31, 32, 33, 34, 30. Oh, okay. And how do you feel about it now? Oh, I'm okay now. But my initial response is that way. I have to make sure my initial response isn't how I'm going to carry it through, that I'm willing to release it after 30 seconds. So why don't we try a 30-second release pattern this week? That when something happens and you begin to feel that angst, give it 30 seconds of feeling the angst. Go ahead and feel it. Feel it. But then after 30 seconds, it has to be released. Right? 30 seconds. Can we do that? Shorter. I know we can. The one practicing must be able to look at a fact in the face and know that all manifestations are effects and can be changed by changing the mental cause. That's exactly what we're talking about. Science and Mind 101. The one practicing have to know that when they looking at a manifestation, they know that whatever is manifested, its condition can be changed as well. When you think about the prayer process, and we talk about how we pray, thoughts become things, the seed, the soil, the plant, right? Spirit, soul, body, this manifestation, this form, right? The form always becomes cause to something else. So remember that no matter what is in form, it now becomes cause to something else. It's never in its final form. What's interesting is there's nothing ever in a final form. I want you to think about that idea. Nothing is ever in a final form, including us. We may have a final form, like in their skin suit, but our final form doesn't end. It just doesn't end. It goes on in eternity. So we have to kind of remind ourselves that nothing is ever final. Because even if it appears to be final, look, really simple. Anyone ever been to divorce court? Yay, there's a great group. I want to party with you. You guys know how to do this, okay? We'll have fun, right? Anybody that's been through a court proceeding, at the very end, the gavel goes down. Done, right? Everybody says, now it's done. Whew, final. No, it's not. Has anyone ever had that experience? Everything is far from done. In fact, sometimes people look at that as the new beginning. What appears to be the gavel of the end is actually the racehorse, the bell going off at the Belmont Stakes. Bing, off they go. So think about that. Nothing's ever final. It's always subject to some sort of change by using a mental cause. We must see beyond the appearance of that which is basically perfect. This will not be irrational to the one who has made a careful study of the science of mind and spirit. So, is the next slide blank? What's the next slide? No. What is the next slide? Never mind. I'm going to jump ahead. If there's one thing I want you to take away from today's talk, my mind keeps obsessing on this, so I got to just talk about it. If there's one thing I want you to take away today, I'm going to read this and then I'm going to unpack it for you because it's probably for the first time today or this week, I read it with a whole different perspective. I've been studying this stuff for 20 years, and I've read it with a whole different light. Now, someone will go, well, I knew that when I read it the first time. I don't care. I didn't get it that way. So good on you. Put a star on your paper. You're smarter than me, all right? In practicing prayer, we must turn entirely away from the condition. We know this. We talk about turn away from the condition. Ernest Holmes said that if you walk into a hospital room and see a sick person, turn around and walk out. Wait, what? If I walk into the hospital room and I see a sick person, I need to leave. I'm thinking, well, then why the hell would I go to the hospital? Right? We must be able to see the spiritual perfection even in the appearance of illness, lack, and limitation. Here's the thing I want to take home. When he says, if you don't walk in and see a sick person, we have to walk in and see a well person, a person who may appear to be sick but is getting better. The second that we align with the illness and see it as an illness, we align our energy and our consciousness in the illness. Does that make sense? As soon as I align myself with someone who's experiencing lack and limitation or dis-ease, I'm no longer a good practitioner for that person. I'm no longer a good friend when I become and I see them in their sickness. Does that make sense? It's a really interesting point because we always say turn away from the condition. Or Dr. Holmes saying if you see someone sick, turn around and walk out. And I'm like, okay, let's keep going. But if you take away one thing, I want you to take away, if you look at someone who has something going on in their life and you align yourself with that something that's happening and you start conversing about it and you start talking about it but not talking about it in the healed condition, if you see them the way that they think they are, that's never going to change the way they are. Same thing goes for you. When you look in the mirror and you say to yourself, I'm sick, you can't see a sick person. You can't turn away from the sick person and go, oh, nope, I may appear this way, but I know that this is what I'm working toward. That the manifestation is harmonious, happy, and healthy. Right? My being is meant to be steeped in and experience happiness, harmony, and peace, and health, and abundance, and all of those things. So if I start seeing myself any other way, don't be surprised when you manifest more of that stuff. Does that make sense? Yeah. So in order to be the better friend, or the better husband, or the better wife, or the better father, or mother, or daughter, whatever it is, in order to be the better the spiritually more evolved person in the room, don't go to the place where you see their illness, where you see their problems. See them on the other side of things. Now, that's challenging to do. I have to tell you, when I walk into a hospital room and I see tubes and things hooked up and just the appearance of things, right? When I see the appearance of things, my mind reacts as a child who would see those things and go, ooh, this is not good. This is very scary stuff. And it still happens, but now I have to prepare myself to walk in, and I don't see any of that. I'm looking into the mind of the person that I'm visiting or talking to, and I'm seeing them on the other side with rid of all of those things. Just like a cartoon character would rid themselves of all these things and pop up out of the bed, I have to have that vision for them, and that's what we do as practitioners of this religious science, which is what you do, which is what we're practicing, the science of mind. As a person who is practicing this, we have... Take the 30-second rule to get upset and then leave it, and then start seeing people, and people on the street, in their wholeness. Imagine a world that would see people as whole. A whole world of us. How that would shift the energy around the homeless situation, around people with mental illness, around people with physical challenges, around people with addictions, around people who are in bad relationships, or the list goes on and on and on and on. Does that make sense? If you take one thing away, I want you to take that away. Don't fool yourself and look at them the way they appear. Don't fool yourself. Because the appearance is just that. See them and see ourselves beyond that. Does that make sense? All right. Phew, it's getting hot in here. All right, good. You can all go home now, right? They put fans up here now. And the new air conditioner's in. All right, let me go to the next one. We do not pretend that the events in our lives and the lives of those around us are not happening. This would be to live in a world of make-believe or spiritual la-la land. Boy, I tell you what. We often hear this sort of behavior described as spiritual bypass, and this is what Laura was talking about earlier. In the early 80s, John Welwood, a Buddhist teacher and psychotherapist, introduced us an idea of spiritual bypass, and here's what it says. A spiritual bypass, or spiritual bypassing, is a tendency to use spiritual ideas and practices to sidestep or avoid facing unresolved emotional issues, psychological wounds, and unfinished developmental tasks. So, we think we can perform a spiritual bypass. We all think we can, because we can all go into a state of denial. Anybody? Has anybody ever lived with anybody that's in a state of denial? Been related to, given birth to, married? I don't know, whatever it is. Spiritual bypass. There is a difference between recognizing the circumstances on the human plane of existence and then claiming the spiritual truth, as opposed to refusing to recognize the human experience completely and saying everything is perfect, when any thinking person can see for themselves that in the moment everything may not be perfect. This is just reinforcing what I said in advance. Any rational thinking person, you cannot walk up to somebody who's experiencing something and say, "You are perfect, whole, and complete. Don't look at any of this. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine." And they're looking at you going like, "You're crazy. You're crazy. Shut up. Go away. Don't talk to me. You're bothering me. You're part of my problem." That's another one. I always love that. I always love that when you go to resolve the condition, or you go to, "I'm going to heal you." No, you're going to pester me. Right? Make sure that we're doing it in such a way where and you know what? Prayer and having these kind of emotions and exchange of ideas and words doesn't always have to be verbal. Thoughts are things. Do we agree? Yes. All thoughts are things. So do I have to say it out loud? No. Which for some of us is a challenge. A, we want to show people we know what we know. B, we want to be the one to articulate to them how we're going to heal them. How about if silently into ourselves we see them that way? Silently into ourselves we see them beyond there. We don't have to take it into the verbal word. We can just see them as they're meant to be. That's what, and I've shared with you many times, and in fact, I saw her yesterday, Reverend Marion. She'll be at the 11 o'clock service today. Whenever I've been in a medical situation or an emergency situation, I always tell Trey, "Call Reverend Marion." It's the first thing I always do, because Marion's my practitioner, so call Reverend Marion. Marion doesn't even have to speak to me. She doesn't even talk to me, because usually I'm in the middle of something, right? But that conversation, that Trey that says, "Look, Joe is blah, 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 blah," and she's like, "I'm on it." Which means she's not seeing me in the ambulance or in the ER or in a situation that's dangerous. She has already looked way past that into the pure Joe, the right Joe, not the Joe that's experiencing something. Does that make sense? That's what I'm talking about. Turn away from the condition. I already talked about that. Dare to speak and know that what you speak is the law unto the thing spoken, regardless of what the condition exists. Dare to think that regardless of what something appears to be, that there is a universal energy creating its healing. Dare to go on the edge and stop saying, "Well, what is." I get it. Buddha will say what is. What he also says is whatever is can be changed, right? We can change it. So accept what is, knowing that it will change. One alone in consciousness with the infinite constitutes a complete majority. Let me say that. Actually, you say that with me. One alone in consciousness with the infinite constitutes a complete majority. Let's do that again. One alone in consciousness with the infinite constitutes a complete majority. Does your whole family have to agree that that's what you need to do? No. Do you have to get consensus from all of your friends via text message and email or Facebook or social media? Do you have to get consensus on what it means to move forward in your life? No. You and God constitute a majority to make the decision and move on. That should be very powerful for you. See, someone's calling for that information as we speak. Someone is saying something is very relevant. They felt the moment. They knew it. They rang in. Tell them, give me the phone. I'll tell them myself. I would love to do that. When someone calls in, go, Hello? Well, you caught them right in the middle of church. But you know what I was talking about? Let me tell you what we're talking about. Wouldn't that be fun? We should do that in meditation. Wait, just wait for it. Anyway, all right, never mind. Coffee. Last slide. We cannot separate our human experience from the truth of our divinity any more than we can separate our divinity from our humanness. You are God in action. There's no other way to talk it. There's no other way to you are God in action, and God is in action by you. The God in you is the God in me and the God in all of us. We are God in action. I'm expressing God all the time. Sometimes I do a good job of it, sometimes not so much. I do as best as I can. But one needs to know you can't separate that. There's never a time when you're separate from that. It may feel in our human condition that we have somehow separated ourselves from it, but it is spiritually impossible because all things are spiritual in nature. As we talked about last week. All that we are, both human and divine, makes up our reality. One does not erase the other. Perfect God, perfect you, perfect me. Perfect God, perfect you, and perfect me. Move beyond the appearances of things and see that perfection. When we come from that place and align ourselves from that place, the things that don't coincide with that perfection begin to make their transition out of our life. Don't grab them as they go. Let them go, and you begin to change. Don't grab onto the old and familiar when you're asking the universe to bring about something new and exciting. Let those things make their transition. Does that make sense? Because that way you're allowing the perfect self to unfold. It's just the way it works. So here we go. 3 things this week. The 30 seconds. Flip out for 30. That's what we'll call it. Flip out for 30. But then after 30, back to earth, back to our spiritual self. Watch how we see people. Watch how we see ourselves. The second we align with anything that is not in that vision of perfection is the second we are actually endorsing more of it. We're creating more of it. Don't be a participant in creating more of it. See people differently. And then understand that perfect God, perfect you, perfect me. That to me is the triad for the day. Take away those 3 takeaways this week, work on them, and don't see if you watch how you'll make a shift. Watch how you will make a shift. And that ends your lesson. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't know if you remember. I don't remember who we went to visit in the hospital, but they had just gotten out of ICU or something, and we were going up in the elevator, and we got out of the elevator, and he looked at me, and he said, "You cannot go in there looking like that."
Yeah.
Because I was like the deer in the headlights, and it was in that moment that everything shifted on that.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
it's very,
that's the way,
that's true, right?
no matter how well we're trained. I mean, once you were in that elevator and you were upset about this person, like, oh my God, and then you thought about, oh my God, what are we going to be seeing and looking at? And I'm
Right.
like, don't go there, girlfriend. Don't
Yeah.
even hit that because
Yeah.
you can't go there. You can't go there because then you see them sick, and we can't do that.
No, and it was amazing because in that moment, as soon as I walked in there, I just saw the perfection of that person. And that person, I don't remember who it was, but I do
Yeah.
remember they were fine after that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is so, so true. So, even us ministers, we have our moments too. So, a
That's why we
few
teach
of them, like daily sometimes. So, at this time, yes, definitely daily. At this time, I'd please like to invite our ushers, our concierge, to please come forward for our offertory prayer, please. as we prepare. So as we prepare, those of you that are live streaming, please, there's a donate button there. Please support the center, support this message so that we can continue the great message every Sunday. So let us say our prayer together, please. I offer this gift with joy and gratitude. I receive freely and give freely, knowing the law of circulation is working perfectly in my life and the life of this center.
Oh, folks, let's go. All right, sing it with me. Come on. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Come on. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. All the way through again. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. We got it. It's up to me to be grateful. It's up to me to be kind. It's up to me to be grateful. It's up to me. It's up to me. Everybody on your feet. Come on, let's sing it out. Let's go. Come on. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Last time through. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life.
All right. All right. So this is Marilyn. Marilyn, how long have you been coming here?
About 6 years.
Are you happy to be here, Marilyn?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Of course you are. All right. So thank you for bringing our offering. Not yet. So we're going to do our offertory prayer. William, are we? Oh, thank you. All right. Let's say this together, please. We bless this collective offering and receive it with gratitude, knowing it is spirit in action. As this currency flows through our center and beyond, it blesses many lives, including my own. Thank you, Marilyn. So at this time, I'd like to welcome our visitors. If you are here for the first time, please stand. We have a gift for you, and we'd love to welcome you. Yes, welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. Wow, this is great. So what we're giving you is a CD holder. Did you get one right over here behind you? Jerry, right there? Right there, yes, thank you. What we've given you is a CD holder with information about our center, and please stop by the foyer table and pick up a CD of a couple of Dr. Joe's talks. We welcome you, and if you're from the Valley, please come back. We'd love to have you back, and if you're visiting, enjoy. Find some misters somewhere and enjoy. So this is our prayer team that's over in the Ohm room today, which is the room over there, the next building over. And if you're going through anything, you need any spiritual help, please go over there and ask them for prayer work. They are powerful. They only see the truth. So what else? Don't forget, we still have things happening all week long. Don't forget our Wednesday wisdom service. We always have our midweek faith lift. Something's going on always. So anyway, so I think that's it. Don't forget to watch us on Facebook at 1 o'clock for our live Facebook. It's called Spirituality Shaken, Not Stirred, like a martini, all right? So it's usually Dale and myself, and once in a while, Dr. Joe pops in, too. So let's just take a deep breath in, and let's just recognizing that there is this one power, and we are one with it. We are creating our lives, and as we experience something that we want to change, that we know is time to move on, we do that in that recognition that what we focus on is what we bring about. So we focus on that which we desire to experience, that which we desire to see in our lives, and we become that. We step into that vision of who we are. And so I am so grateful for Dr. Joe and the wisdom that comes through him. And knowing that it touches our lives, it expands our awareness of who we truly are and the power that we have to create the lives that we desire. So knowing that this is the truth, I am so grateful for this teaching, for everyone here that opens my heart to that magnificence. So I let go and I let God, and together we say, and so it is. Amen. Everyone have a wonderful week.